Meanwhile, the winter passed by, as hours and days melted into weeks. As the touch of spring awoke Peter and Angelina, they slid from their cocoon, their silvery pinions still wrapped in wet, and they breathed in the moist and earthy air which had called them forth, and then gently unbundled their butterfly wings and billowed them into flight as they, made younger by 1,000 kisses, flew and fluttered in flux, transitionally, as monarch butterflies, but then transformed into a higher state that only few couples could know, that of a young man and a young woman, a sprite and nymph, as if so waved by some pixie hand. And hand in hand they ran through the tall and growing grass toward the pond, bidden like dragonflies, toward even fresher visions, so clear and bright, that drew them forward, through all the summers of youth and laughter that they'd ever known. As there at the water's edge, they looked into the still water, each of them seeing only the other's reflection looking back, cheerfully radiant and ever youthful. They had made it through the looking glass to the other side, to that higher form of love in which the perfection was unparalleled. Here the gift of love was given with its wrappings unattached, no ribbons. Here there was caring for its own sake. Here freedom without recrimination. Here they rose above the bickering that kept so many couples grounded. Here, at long last, after so many years of searching, after untold struggles and pain, they had discovered the unadulterated gold of love, pure and godlike, St. Peter and the holy angel, and they lived loving forever. In this time suspended as the world grew older, they lived and loved in their paradise on earth that they had built brick by brick, caring by caring thought, sharing by sharing act, a foundation with a base so wide that its peak had left this world completely and had aspired into the rapture and rhapsody of heaven. Yes. Spring is an overflowing of nature that fills and overbrims the mind, body, heart, and soul in its overwhelming sensations. And it was life's fever that affected this undeniable aura of glow and warmth on Peter and Angelina, a blush of colored radiance, a force that carried them in the loving clench of spring's passionate power. Following the meadow trail along the woodside, they caught the secret scents of the jasmine, deciphered the messages of the honeysuckle, sensed the signals of wisteria, recalled the half-forgotten memories of the rosemary, inhaled the sweet breath of violets, heard the thoughts of pansies, and felt the early youth of the primrose. As they entered the woods, the path became a serpentine writhe of roses, pink as a maiden's cheek, that led to a clearing where daffodils were arranged by nature's hand, all wearing their yellow pixie dresses. Thence to the stream where lilies exhaled their powerful sweetness. Drenched in fragrance, they passed ever deeper into the forest, noting the fairy frocks and more daffodils brightening from the spirit light of morning into the fuller radiance of day. Further on there were brilliant clumps of blue delphiniums growing in the ruins of old cottages, happy dandelions everywhere, lilac bushes as large as a building, irises in their soft magnificence, and laughing pansies that were dewy-eyed and velvet smooth. Angelina knelt to smell a rose, seemingly becoming one for a moment, and so Peter lifted her to his lips as if she were a flower, and kissed her and drank the dew. The lilies of the valley, she said, came from Eve's tears as she left the Garden of Eden, taking more than just the apple blossom. They once again traversed the pleasant paths of the rural cemetery, a picnic park in the olden days, pausing to pick a few daisies and to read a few epitaphs. They followed the path of emotional closeness beyond the Great Wall, stopping for a picnic lunch at a wooden table that was built around the trunk of a tree, and poured wine and ate chicken. Their crow joined them and pecked for crumbs while the robins and song sparrows in the trees sang their territorial and mating melodies. Angelina felt the serenity of the present, the now requited yearning of love from that long ago time, and the fair weather cloud of the future, sweet and thick with its promise of security. Peter saw the selves that they had found in the unconditional love of a relationship in which all the walls were down, one in which the spirits had spread across the boundaries of their bodies. Kissing deeply in the tree's shade brought the gentle wind of peace, and as the stress of the work week rolled off of Peter, they reveled in each other, on another day spent away from the rest of the world. They touched each other's faces all around, then their backs and fronts. As they held each other, the world went by unnoticed, becoming non-existent. A blanket was placed on the ground, and there they caressed and rested in turn, drifting in the quietude of the afternoon. Lip to lip they fell asleep, intentionally, in the middle of a kiss, and, thus connected, their souls already joined on their lips were able to cross on, each into the other's being, and so, therefore, they were able to dream the same dreams, and thus they came to share the same muses and fancies of life and adventure in such reveries of love and attachment, the deepest aspects of the self. Breathing as one, the rhythm carried them toward ever more profound visions and far deeper into the never-known intimacies of the spirit and on to the innermost purviews of love, beauty, and truth, where they blended and fused in both being and purpose, ever coalesced, coupled, and linked in a place outside of all time and space, where it was always spring, where there were blue roses and white crows, as here we must leave them, although not for long, forever young, eternally ageless, perpetually joined soul to soul in a kiss.